If someone suddenly goes completely silent after you disagree with them, they're not just upset. They're using a calculated manipulation tactic called stonewalling. And it's designed to make you panic, apologize, and give them exactly what they want. Here are 7 manipulation tactics toxic people use every single day, and how to spot them before it's too late. Most people think manipulation is obvious. They imagine evil villains twisting their mustaches and plotting schemes. But real manipulation is subtle. It happens in your relationships, your workplace, even your own family. And the scariest part? You might not even realize it's happening until the damage is done. Let's break down exactly how manipulators operate. Tactic number 1 is stonewalling. This is when someone completely shuts down communication. They give you the silent treatment. They refuse to discuss the problem. They walk away or shut you out emotionally. Here's why this works. Silence creates anxiety. When someone we care about goes silent, our brain goes into panic mode. We start questioning ourselves. What did I do wrong? How can I fix this? And that's exactly what the manipulator wants. They're training you to associate disagreement with punishment. Over time, you'll stop bringing up problems just to avoid the silent treatment. You'll start walking on eggshells around them. How to spot it? Pay attention to patterns. Does this person shut down every time you set a boundary? Do they disappear when you need to have a serious conversation? That's stonewalling. And it's not healthy communication, it's control. Tactic number 2 is gaslighting. This one's dangerous because it attacks your sense of reality itself. Gaslighting is when someone makes you question your own memory, perception, or sanity. They'll deny saying things you clearly heard. They'll insist events happen differently than you remember. They'll call you crazy or too sensitive when you bring up legitimate concerns. Here's an example. You confront someone about a hurtful comment they made. Instead of apologizing, they say, "I never said that. You're making things up. You always twist my words." Now suddenly, instead of them apologizing, you're defending your sanity. The psychology here is insidious. Over time, you start doubting yourself. You think maybe you are too sensitive. Maybe you did misremember. This is exactly what the gaslighter wants. Complete control over what's considered true. How to spot it? Trust your gut. If someone constantly makes you feel confused about your own experiences, that's a red flag. Keep records if you need to. Text messages and emails don't lie. Tactic number 3 is love bombing. This usually happens at the beginning of relationships, and it feels amazing. That's why it's so dangerous. Love bombing is when someone overwhelms you with affection, attention, and gifts right from the start. They text you constantly. They call you their soulmate after 2 weeks. They make grand romantic gestures. They put you on a pedestal. Your brain gets flooded with dopamine and oxytocin. You feel special, chosen, loved. But here's the trap. They're creating an intense emotional dependency very quickly. What? Because once you're hooked, they'll pull back. The affection will disappear. And you'll do anything to get that feeling back. You'll ignore red flags. You'll accept bad behavior. You'll compromise your boundaries, all chasing that initial high they gave you. How to spot it? Healthy relationships build gradually. If someone is moving extremely fast, declaring intense feelings immediately, or making you the center of their universe within days, slow down. Real love doesn't need to rush. Tactic number 4 is triangulation. This is when a manipulator brings a third person into the dynamic to control you. Here's how it works. Instead of addressing an issue directly with you, they'll talk to someone else about you. Then they'll tell you what that person said. "Well, Sarah thinks you're overreacting too." Or, "Even your mom agrees with me." Sometimes they'll compare you to others. "My ex would never complain about this." Or, "Why can't you be more like your sister?" The psychology is brilliant and cruel. They're isolating you and making you feel ganged up on. Even if that third person never actually said those things, you now feel outnumbered. Your confidence crumbles. Triangulation also creates drama and competition. It keeps you off balance and focused on proving yourself instead of questioning their behavior. How to spot it? If someone constantly references other people's opinions instead of having direct conversations with you, that's triangulation. Go directly to the source. Ask that third person what they actually said. Usually you'll find the manipulator lied or exaggerated. Tactic number 5 is projection. This is when manipulators accuse you of the exact things they're doing. A cheating partner will constantly accuse you of cheating. A liar will call you dishonest. Someone controlling will claim you're controlling them. The psychology behind projection is about deflection. By attacking you first, they put you on the defensive. Now you're busy proving your innocence instead of examining their behavior. It's also a psychological defense mechanism. On some level, they might know they're doing something wrong. But instead of facing that uncomfortable truth, they project it onto you. It protects their ego. Here's a real example. Someone is going through your phone, monitoring your location, questioning everyone you talk to. Then they turn around and say, "You're so controlling. You don't trust me at all." How to spot it? Pay attention when accusations seem to come out of nowhere or don't match your actual behavior. If someone is obsessively accusing you of something specific, there's a good chance they're the one doing it. Tactic number 6 is guilt tripping. Manipulators weaponize your empathy and kindness against you. They'll say things like, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me?" Or, "I guess I'm just a terrible person then." Or, "Fine, I'll just suffer in silence." What they're doing is making their emotions your responsibility. They're training you to believe that their unhappiness is your fault, and therefore your job to fix. The psychology here targets people pleasers and empathetic individuals. Your natural instinct is to help people you care about. Guilt trippers exploit this. They make you feel like a bad person for having boundaries or needs. Here's the thing, you can care about someone and still have boundaries. Their feelings are not your responsibility to manage. If setting a simple boundary makes someone lay on massive guilt, that tells you everything you need to know. How to spot it? Notice if someone makes you feel guilty for normal, healthy things like spending time with friends, pursuing hobbies, or saying no. Guilt should not be a tool in healthy relationships. Tactic number 7 is playing the victim. No matter what the manipulator does wrong, somehow they're always the one who's been wronged. You bring up a legitimate problem, and within minutes, they've turned the conversation around. Now you're apologizing to them. They cry, they bring up their difficult past, they talk about how hard they have it. Suddenly your concerns seem petty. This tactic works because most people don't want to kick someone when they're down. When someone presents themselves as wounded and helpless, our instinct is to comfort them, not confront them. But here's what you need to understand. People can have real trauma and still be manipulative. Past pain doesn't excuse present bad behavior. A victim mentality also absolves them of all responsibility. Nothing is ever their fault. They never have to change or grow because they're too busy being the victim of circumstances, other people, or you. How to spot it? If someone never takes accountability, if every conversation about their behavior somehow becomes about their suffering, if they use their past trauma as a shield against all criticism, that's playing the victim. These 7 tactics are used by manipulators every single day. Stonewalling, gaslighting, love bombing, triangulation, projection, guilt tripping, and playing the victim. The good news? Once you know what to look for, these tactics lose their power. You can't manipulate someone who understands the game. Trust your instincts. If something feels off in a relationship, it probably is. You don't need to convince yourself that manipulation is acceptable. You deserve honest, direct, respectful communication. And remember, the best defense against manipulation is knowing your worth and defending your boundaries. Don't let anyone make you doubt your reality or feel guilty for having needs. Stay aware. Stay strong. And don't let anyone play games with your mind.